we all started somewhere, and you start from a place of what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to transfer very quickly into what we can do.
Right.
And when you start thinking about what we can do, then you have to be a leader. And being a leader and being a performer are miles apart,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a struggle. That's a struggle I struggled with because I was really gifted at certain things. I could market well, sell well. I can do a lot of things well. Like I'm not a detail oriented person, but I'm a process person. So I can go into things, watch someone do it a little bit, and in my brain think there's a better way to do this, and
Sure.
and probably perform very well. Like I've done a billion different things. I've been in construction. I grew up in the construction industry, got into manufacturing and doing things like that, logistics and doing all these different pieces. I've been in sales, and I was good at a lot of those things. But the thing about it was understanding that a lot of people aren't built the way I'm built to be able to think through those things. And so it's how do you have proper expectations to, bring people in and understand that not everyone is going to operate like you. And if they did, you wouldn't hire them to start with. You wouldn't like them. And, so there's a massive benefit to finding people that are weaker than you at things that they're way stronger than you in others. And I think that's the biggest turning point for most people when they go from starting a business to growing a business is learning how to do the we stuff, and over the course of 18 years, I mean, think about it. Like the number one thing that people run into when they talk about growth and sustaining a business, and you got all these different wings and arms of your business and all these things. And like, you just remember back to the days of just trying to start that one. It was so hard. And then you get resources and you get things and people start talking about capital, right? Like
cash flow, capital. Yeah.
You get capital. But what I think a lot of people rush to their capital because they're thinking about cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they overlook the most basic form of capital, which is human capital, people. What you can accomplish with little money, but lots of buy-in is insurmountable.
Sure.
You can move so fast and you can get so much done that I think a lot of times people are trying to leverage their own capital. And you got to be very people focused. And you said that, like, hey, understanding people and wanting to help people. So in your business, I'm sure that's a high priority for you. You said you around 60 employees. Talk about that a little bit. Like in your mind as leading the company, you said, hey, making people a priority. What does that look like for you?
Yeah. I mean, outside of having a product that somebody wants, right. Yeah. And needs, you can be one man in a truck and probably make a living. Okay. And, but I think God's called us to interact with people. Okay. And he wants us to, very clearly in his word, he tells us to pursue people. And so when we started dreaming about growing a business, we weren't so much concerned about revenue or the number of people, but, we wanted to add team members that brought some to the table. When we started branching out to multiple divisions, then it just innately takes more people. And so I think that's what excites me most. And, everybody does these personality tests and things like that. But a group of people sitting around a table, hashing out a vision and a plan, and then, activators to dreamers to make it happen, guys. To me, that is what drives me every day. And I think that I tell people I got the best gig in America. I really do. I love what I do. Certainly there's things that are not as fun as others, but that's where it's got to start. And those people have to trust each other. They have to have each other's back. They have to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and then they got to execute together. And if you're a closer, we want you in those roles. If you're a dreamer, dream with the best of them. If you're a prospect, if you're a prospector or a business development guy, be the best guy in the upstate at that. So I think that answers some of your questions. It's super critical that you align well. You can't fake it. You can't fake being a team player. And any team I've ever been on, you just can't fake through that.
Hmm.
You got to show up. You know, you may stay after practice, you may stay after work, and then you're talking to people. You know, and people are not resources that without hearts or desires, and everybody in our company wants a lot of the same things that I want. And if I'm not aware of that, then I'm failing.